India, we have hundreds of thousands of abandoned dry borewells. At some point of time, these borewells had the capacity to hold and provide water for extraction, but unfortunately they have now become dry due to the decline in the water table below the borehole depth. These abandoned borewells are the best structures available for groundwater recharge because they readily accept rainwater into their dry voids and spaces in the ground. Recharging groundwater through dry borewells is not just less time consuming but is also very economical, since the major task of drilling a fresh borehole is not required to be done. Through this presentation, we wish to demonstrate, in simple steps, how an abandoned borewell can be effectively used to recharge groundwater aquifer by channelizing rainwater falling on rooftops through a dedicated network of pipelines. On the basis of our experience, we at Silveron advise people to use only abandoned or dry borewells for the purpose of groundwater recharge. This is due to the fact that silt cannot be entirely prevented from entering the casing and damaging the motor brushes. Hence, we do not recommend recharge through tubewells that are currently in use. This video demonstrates the fundamentals of rooftop rainwater harvesting through abandoned dry borewells. The example presented here is of a philanthropic initiative by Silveron, where our team built such a system at a premises that houses both a court and an associated government office in Jaipur. This project has a demonstrative purpose, since a large number of citizens visit this premises every day. At this specific site, there were two main challenges. The first was to protect a large neem tree, which stood very close to the old borewell. And the other was that we needed to bypass an open drain by laying a dedicated pipeline exclusively for rainwater to flow from the rooftop to the dry borehole. At first, we needed to determine if the abandoned borewell was blocked or choked or if it had collapsed internally. The simplest way to determine the health of an abandoned borewell is to check its water intake capacity. To do this, we brought in a few tankers to dump water at a high flow rate into the borewell. We observed that the bore continued to absorb water at a high flow rate and there was no overflow. This indicated that the borewell was in good shape and that this was a good opportunity to proceed further. To bypass an open drain in between buildings and the recharge borewell, we first constructed a deep chamber and connected all down pipes from the roof outlets into this chamber. Thereafter, we constructed another chamber on the other side of the drain and connected the two chambers by high-quality PVC pipe from underneath the open drain. All chambers were then filled to top with grit and were also sealed with properly fitting cement covers. We carefully interconnected all our newly constructed chambers with PVC pipes so that only clean rainwater from the rooftop could reach the final chamber. Our next target was to develop the recharge location and protect the tree. For this, we created a 5 feet deep pit of 5 feet diameter around the borewell and encompassing the tree. Great care was taken to ensure that the roots of the tree were not hurt in the process. Brick work was done on the periphery of this pit, and a brick wall was constructed to separate the borewell from the tree. Fresh soil was then filled on the tree side, nearly till the top. A slit was cut in the borewell metal pipe. This slit was covered with wire mesh. Once the pit was ready, a trench was dug and a PVC pipe was laid from the final chamber to the brick wall on the periphery of the borewell. Finally, grit was filled till top level in the borewell section, and another small layer of grit was added over the soil in the tree section to give a uniform look. Now when it rains, the rainwater does not run off in the drain or on the street roads, but flows into the ground through the previously wasted, abandoned borewells. We have advised the concerned officials to ensure that the rooftop is kept clean before the start of rainy season. The grit in the chambers and the pit will also reduce turbulence and allow for smooth inflow of water into the borehole. This project shows how rainwater harvesting through old abandoned borewells can greatly enhance the groundwater aquifer recharge.